So hello everyone, welcome to this another video of this channel. I'm Abhishek Verma, and in today's video we are going to announce about our upcoming Spring AI series. So in this video we will see what are the topics we are going to cover as a part of this series, then what are the prerequisites required, and what are the tools we are going to use during this series. So without wasting any more time, let's directly get started and see how the things are going to look like. So now let's deep dive and see what all things we will be doing in the playlist of Spring AI. So first of all, we will go here, and the very first chapter which comes up is Introduction to AI. Now I have kept this chapter as a complete theoretical one. So in this video, we are not going to code anything. Neither we need to make usage of any kind of mathematical tools or any other kind of models or anything. This chapter I only kept as a starter one, so that even if you don't have any idea of AI, ML, deep learning and all these things, then also it is going to be easier for you. Now you may say that, okay Abhishek, is it required in order to learn Spring AI? The answer is no. But it is always beneficial to know the basics of anything new which we want to start, so that we can feel more and more comfortable. So it is just going to be a short video. Then after this is going to be our chapter number 2. So there you see that I have also mentioned it as demo number 1. So as the name suggests, it is just going to be about the basics. So here we will see that, okay, how to create our project for the very first time, which all dependencies are required, which all keys are required, which all URLs are required, what all accounts needs to be created. So each and everything will be showing here. And obviously, we will be making usage of Spring AI. Now, once this is clear, then we will be moving ahead, and then we will do something about prompt engineering. Now, this is again very, very important in the field of Spring AI, or you can say in general in the field of generative AI, because here it's all about the prompts which you make with the AI. So again, this is going to be our demo number 2. Then after this, we are going to start with the chapter 4, and chapter 4 is again going to be theoretical only. Again, we are not going to perform any kind of practicals or any kind of demos here, but we are going to learn about a concept known as advisors. And the hint which I can give you is that advisors is something similar with aspect-oriented programming. So if you, obviously, I am assuming that if you are coming here, then you should be knowing about Spring and Spring Boot. And if yes, then you should also be knowing about aspect-oriented programming. So you will see that how the advisors are going to be related with the aspect-oriented programming. So first, we are just going to understand the theory of it. And then in the next chapter, we will see the practical using advisors. Now you can say that, okay Abhishek, you could have combined these two things in a single video. And the answer is yes. But in that case, the video would have become long. So instead of making one long video, what I did is I made one separate theoretical video and one separate practical video, because it was required here. Then after this, again, we are going to have our next chapter, and that is going to be about RAG. Now, RAG is Retrieval Augmented Generation. Again, I'm just reading out this full form. But you will see that here we are going to work with the documents, with the PDFs, and what all things are there that I will directly show you in the demo itself. But trust me, it is going to be very, very interesting. Then after this, we are going to enhance our demos, and we are going to work with the multi-models. We will see that, okay, how we can pass the image, and we can see that what are the descriptions of that image and all these things. We will also see that if we can generate the image and the audio. So all these things we are going to see in this chapter number 7. Then after this comes chapter number 8. It's something about tools. And in Spring AI, there is an annotation known as @tools. Now the question is that what is this tools, how to make usage of it, what all things, how it is related with Spring AI. So each and everything we will see here itself. And then comes our final chapter. So in this playlist, there are going to be only 9 chapters, or you can say they are going to be only 9 videos. And the last one is about MCP, that is Model Context Protocol. I'm assuming that by now you must have heard this term somewhere on YouTube or Google from multiple websites or from multiple creators. So what is model context protocol, how it is going to be helpful for us, how can we use it in general, how we can make it from scratch, each and everything we are going to see here. So now you see that this Spring AI playlist is not very big. It's a very small playlist of only 9 chapters, because here my goal as of now is to show you what all things are possible for free of cost. So here whatever the things I will be doing will be of free of cost. You don't need to spend any money in order to learn the things or in order to make any kind of accounts or anything else. Once you are clear with these concepts, then obviously you can watch any other YouTuber's video, or you can try the things on your own also. As of now, as I said, I have planned only for the 9 demos. During the playlist, if I will feel that okay, something new is also coming for free, I will directly add it as the chapter number 10, chapter number 11, and so on. In case that we are going to end the playlist after chapter number 9 and nothing new comes, but after a few months something appears, then again I'm just going to simply add the chapter here. I hope that is going to work fine for us. Then after this comes the most important part, that in order to start with Spring AI, in order to start with all these chapters, what are the prerequisites? So first of all, you don't need to have any knowledge about AI, because that is something I'm going to cover in my first theoretical video. So if you have zero knowledge, it's good. If you have some knowledge, then also it is well and good, because you will be able to validate that whatever I'm telling you is right or wrong. But beside this, what you should be knowing is about Java. Now you will say that, okay, Abhishek, it is so simple. I mean, if you are making about Spring AI, so we should be obviously knowing about Java. But yeah, trust me, many times what happens is people directly jump on towards Spring AI, and then they say that, okay, Abhishek, you are not explaining from the scratch. I mean, many times people even want me to make each and every method, each and every sysout statement in front of them. They want me to write all those things. But trust me, it doesn't work. Okay. So if you know about Java, things are going to be easy. And when I say that you should be knowing Java, so you should be knowing that, okay, what are interfaces, what are streams, what are Lambda functions, how to create methods, how to create classes. These basic things only I want from you. I'm not even saying that, okay, you should be knowing about multi-threading, concurrency, you should be knowing about collections framework, all these things. I'm not going even in that much detail. Just a basics of Java is required from your side. Then the next thing is that you should be having an idea of Maven. Now, why Maven is required here? Because here I will be making usage of Spring AI. Spring AI will be making usage of Spring Boot. And Spring Boot, as you know, can be created with the help of Gradle also. It can be created with the help of Maven also. If we do it with the help of Maven, we have something as pom.xml. Now, many times what happens is, I mean, recently it happened. Someone was watching my Hibernate playlist, and then they were saying that, okay, you didn't told us how to make pom.xml from scratch, how this file got created automatically. Because if you want to know about pom.xml, you should be watching my Maven playlist. I mean, Hibernate playlist is not the right playlist for learning pom.xml. Yeah. So that's why I'm saying that you should be having a basic idea of Maven. Again, I'm not going to ask you that, okay, what all different cycles are going to be there, what are different stages are going to be there. I'm not going to ask anything about this, but a brief idea so that you don't feel uncomfortable when I am going to open pom.xml. And then comes the most important things, that is Spring Boot. Now, in terms of Spring Boot, what I want from you guys is that you should be aware about the basic Spring concepts. That, okay, what is dependency injection, what is inversion of control. Again, we are not going to go in the details of it, but let's assume that from one class, if I'm going to auto wire another class, then you should be at least able to know that what I'm doing. If you will say that, okay, Abhishek, you just use @ auto-wired annotation, you didn't explain what was this annotation, then it is not going to work. I can't explain you the same in Spring AI playlist. So that is something which I want from you. Beside this, you should also be knowing how to make REST APIs. Because when we are going to make usage of Spring AI, then obviously from the controller also, we need a kind of a controller so that we can provide the input. Now for this, one option is that I make a simple console based application. But instead of it, what I will be doing is I will be making a Spring REST application. So I will be having some basic REST APIs here. and most probably they are going to be post APIs. We are not going with the delete APIs, we are not going with the patch, put, or even the get APIs. Just simple post APIs are going to be there. So basic idea of all these annotations and everything is required again from your side. Also, if you know about Lombok, then it is going to be well and good because we are going to make usage of it here. And now if you will say that, okay, Abhishek, we are not aware about complete Spring REST and all these things, then also you don't need to worry. You can simply watch my existing playlist and you will get an idea, because we are going to start with this playlist from the next week. So today the video is getting released on Saturday. Then next Wednesday, we are going to be have our very first video, that is introduction to AI. And then from next Saturday, we are going to start with the coding part. So by that time, you can at least watch one or two videos related to Spring REST and you can get comfortable with those APIs. Then one more last thing which is required is that is the ideal setup. I mean, in terms of knowledge, we understood what all things are required. AI, I'm going to tell Java, Maven, Spring Boot, you should be knowing automatically. You don't need to have any knowledge of Hibernate or Data JP for this because we are not going to work with the database. But now comes what about the setup, how our setup should look like, what all things I will be using, so that later on you don't feel uncomfortable. Yeah. So number one is desktop or a laptop. Because there's many times what happens is that I create the whole playlist, I do all these things, I make demos and everything for you available free of cost. But then what you do is that many times people are just watching in the mobile phones, and at the end they simply comment that, okay, font size was very small. I mean, obviously, if you will watch the same thing, that much code in your mobile screen, so mobile screen is smaller in size. So there you are not going to get the things in an easier way. Okay, you will feel that, okay, font size is small and everything. But in reality, that's not a case. So currently I'm running this presentation in my laptop. The font size is very much comfortable, which should be readable by any human being. But if you will watch it in mobile phone, obviously you will feel it is a smaller font size. For these presentations, for these theoretical videos, it still works. But when we are moving towards the code, then it becomes a bit much difficult. So hence I'm saying a desktop or a laptop is required. Yeah. And obviously later on you are going to, I mean, execute the demos also. So obviously you can't execute the demos on your mobile phones. So that's why laptop or desktop is required. I will be using Windows. If you have Mac, you can go for it. If you have Linux, you can go for it. Operating system doesn't matters here. Then the next thing is Java. So here in my demos, I'm going to make usage of JDK 21. Now this is September 2025. JDK 25 is about to release, but as of now, we are not going to switch to it because JDK 25 is going to be new. Here we are making usage of Spring Boot. Then within Spring Boot also it is Spring AI. So maybe all the dependencies are not going to work fine with JDK 25 as of now. So hence we will be using JDK 21, which is current long-term support version. In case if you are watching this video after 4 or 5 months, so then what you can do is you can download my demos and you can upgrade them to JDK 25. That is something can be done. In case if your machine is not having JDK 21, then you can work with JDK 17 also. But minimum JDK 17 is required. If you say I'm having JDK 8, then things are not going to work because Spring AI dependencies are not going to work with JDK 8. They are not going to work with JDK 11. So minimum JDK 17 is required. If you have JDK 21, it's well and good. And in future, you can automatically upgrade. Then the next thing comes up is IDE. Now this is very, very important point. What happens is that I will make the playlist and then someone will just comment in the comment section that, okay, you should have made it in IntelliJ. But the point is that here I'm teaching you about Spring AI. I'm not teaching you that, okay, how the IDE works. I'm not explaining how the Spring Tool Suite IDE works or how the IntelliJ IDE works. So if you are comfortable in IntelliJ, if you have at least make one single project about Spring Boot in your IntelliJ, you will be able to work comfortably with this playlist also. In case if you are completely new to IntelliJ, in case you are completely new to Spring Boot, then whether you make usage of IntelliJ, whether you make usage of Spring Tool Suite, you won't be getting the things. Yeah. So it should be clear that, I mean, you should not be stuck with one single IDE. Why I'm making usage of Spring Tool Suite here is because it is easier to use. It is going to provide me all the features. In IntelliJ, what happens is that first of all, IntelliJ is having IntelliJ community version, IntelliJ ultimate version. In the community version, you don't get the by default option of creating Spring Boot project from scratch. Then some people say that, okay, you can upgrade to IntelliJ Ultimate, but that requires money. As of now, you guys are not watching my videos that regularly that YouTube is going to provide me income. So I'm not having any extra income. So why should I spend for IntelliJ Ultimate? Then many of you say that, okay, we can make usage of extra plugins. But the question is, why don't you simply use, or why don't you simply learn from any IDE? I mean, Java is an platform independent language. You can compile it in one machine, let's say Linux, let's say Mac, Windows, and then you can run the code in any other machine. So why you as a Java developer want to become so much IDE dependent that no, we are going to work in IntelliJ, we are going to learn from IntelliJ only? It should not happen. Yeah. So I will be using Spring Tool Suite, and I will be using light theme here because many times people say dark theme is not comfortable. So I will be using light theme. Font size is going to be 16. If you feel 16 font size is also very small while looking in the laptop, then you can let me know which font size should be used. Yeah. Then, since there are Spring REST APIs, so obviously we need to invoke them. And for this, I will be making usage of Postman. You can make usage of SOAP UI or any other thing. Again, the rules are simple that if you know the tool, then it doesn't matters that, I mean, what all things are there. Okay. You can do the same thing from SOAP UI. You can do the same things from the Postman also. Also, on my channel, there are videos available that how to download and install JDK21, how to download and install Spring Tool Suite, how to download and install Postman. So if you haven't used, you can just simply watch those videos. Then there is also Git Bash. Now, why Git Bash is required? Because what happens is, let's assume that today I have released this video. And in this video, I'm showing you some code. Then what I will be doing is that I'm going to push the code onto my GitHub repository. So what you can do is from my GitHub repository, you can download the code easily. You can run it as it is. You can make some changes in it, and then you can run, you can just play with it. You can experiment with it, and all these things can be done easily. For this, it's good to have Git Bash in your machine, because later on also, if you want to push something to the GitHub, Git Bash is an easy to use tool. So all these are the things which we are going to use during this playlist, and that becomes my ideal setup. Besides this, you don't need anything extra. You don't need access to any big AI server or any other LLM model. All those things are not needed here. Now, beside this, if you have any other questions, any other queries related to this playlist or related to anything else, then please feel free to let me know in the comments. I'm hoping that you are going to support with me in this particular series. If this series becomes a success, then very soon we are going to start with our next series also. That can be on DSA or it can be on Spring microservices. But trust me guys, these series, the benefit of making videos is only when you guys watch. You guys watch, you like, you comment, and you share with your friends so that our community increases. Many times what happens, you watch a video and then you just relax and you say, okay, the video was good, and you do nothing. You don't even like the video, you don't even comment, you don't even share with others. So YouTube feels that the video was useless. So I don't have any kind of paid marketing. So I never do anything of paid marketing types. So for me, the only marketing option is from you guys. If you are going to share it with your friends, YouTube will feel that, okay, now many people are watching it, and YouTube will automatically show it to the new subscribers. So if you want, I should grow, I should be able to provide more and more things free of cost to all of you. You just need to support me, and supporting is free of cost. So I hope you find it helpful, and very soon, let's see you in the next video where we are going to see introduction of AI. Thanks everyone. Bye bye and take care.